Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, I got it. Hey guys, Streamlabs decided to use a different Wi Fi IP for no reason. Oh, is there an echo? Hold on. Where is the echo then? Yeah, sorry guys. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, hold on. Is there still an echo? Let me know, because if there is, I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe we should just have the echo and maybe we should just deal with that for the rest of our lives. So let me know. You don't hear one? Okay, great. Hey guys, how's it going? Let me get the music started. I was going to use my mobile data, right? Because I figured that would give us a more stable connection. And then, as I said, when I booted up Streamlabs, it just would not work. Where is my music? I'm completely discombobulated now. And so, turn that on, put it to, there we go. Ah, nice calming Elder Scrolls music. Go to Streamlabs, turn this off, and it should be good. Yes, it is. It is. Oh, and I can pull up my PNG tuber. Do that. Go back here. Where is she? There she is. Okay. Okay, we're good. We are good. We should be okay. How's everyone else doing? But yes, that is why I was late, is because Streamlabs decided to use a completely different IP address than the one I was using, which, go figure. Ah, and now the beast desires the out of sight. Go take the beast out. I assume you mean the dog. But hey guys, sorry about that. Like I said, I don't know what it is. Is Metro, I need to check. Is Mercury in retrograde or something? Hold on. I need to know. I need to have something I can blame my tech issues on. And if we can blame the planets, that would work out very good for me. The CPUF ASMR. No. Oh, great. Okay, so it's just me. Anyway, we were drawing Rosalina yesterday, and I figured we can start doing that. Good Lord, what is up with my encoder here? Whatever, it should be fine. If it kicks us, I'm switching to mobile data, because turns out the Streamlabs issue and the mobile data issue were two separate issues. Blame Velma. You know what? That sounds like an excellent idea. Let's just blame Velma. In fact, any issue that is ever with my channel moving forward, we will blame Velma, regardless of how far in the future it is, regardless of what happens. We will just forever blame Velma, forevermore, always, and we will just not question it. And years in the future, people will be asking, why are you guys saying blame Velma? What the hell is Velma? Because nobody's going to remember Velma in the future. And then we will all just say, it was a curse laid on my channel, and now we kind of will just have to deal with it. Kind of like the movie Holes, but a lot lamer and not as well written. If you like my avatar, thank you. My friend made it for me. She semi-debuted yesterday, but then my internet decided that I didn't deserve to have internet anymore. I did do a few other things though. Besides switching to mobile data, I changed my physical Wi-Fi receiver, and I also moved my booster closer. Like, I dragged it across the floor on an extension cord so that it's literally right next to my PC. So I'm like, you can't tell me that the extender isn't there because I'm looking at it. Was Holes even that good? No, Holes is very good. I was watching Octocruel react to it because they'd never watched it before, and it just kind of reminded me like how good that movie is, like from a writing level. Because on paper, it should just be a silly children's movie, right? It should be a kids movie, and in many ways it is. but the quality of writing is just so good in it. It almost transcends that, like, it was Nickelodeon, right? No, it was Disney. It kind of transcends that a Disney made for kids movie feel, you know. It's like leagues and bounds above High School Musical, for instance. So you're just passing out donuts in the chat. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. Everybody have some donuts. Hell knows we need the calories. But yes, so I was watching Octocruel watch Holes yesterday, and it's just such a good movie. And in a very weird way, it kept reminding me of the movie Life, starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, which I watched for the first time not that long ago. And that's like also a really shockingly good movie. There's like, it's not Shawshank Redemption or anything, but it's a movie where you look at the poster and you read starring Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, and you don't think to expect much, and then you watch the movie and it's about like the systemic way that the American prison system works, and the racism inherent in the system, because it starts off in the 1930s, and it does like all these things. Meanwhile, it's Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. And I'm like, it's not that this is a cinematic masterpiece or anything, but this is way better than it has any right in being. And it's kind of resulted in me never ever not thinking about that movie. Like, the second I see anything resembling a prison movie, I'm like, oh, it's like the movie Life from 1999 starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Once upon a time, Disney would go, oh wait, we're releasing this into theaters, let's make it better than High School Musical. Did High School Musical ever release in theaters? Like in the States, I mean. I think it was the third one might have had a theatrical release. It did not have a theatrical release here. Like, I don't know how old people in my chat is, but High School Musical genuinely felt like a plague. The third one did? Yeah, I thought so. The High School Musical trilogy, it felt like a plague because not only did those movies come out, but also every other show on the Disney Channel was referencing it, and they were like bumpers in between other shows that was High School Musical, even though it had already come out. It's like they were constantly reminding you of it. And I think there were like crossover episodes with Hannah Montana or something. It was genuinely like everywhere, and not in a sense like it would be in the States where you can get t-shirts of it at Target and stuff, because we don't get stuff like that. Just if you had the Disney Channel, it just completely took over that channel in a way that was exceptionally obnoxious. It was kind of crazy. Like, it was like really, really strange. Well, not strange, but it felt manufactured. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, there was a scandal on Tumblr not that long ago where they put an industry plant band on Tumblr and tried to market it as, oh, this is an indie emo girls band called the Tramp Stamps. And like literally everything about this so-called band was very, very obviously manipulated by whoever their publisher was. And it was like literally like an industry plant. And as a result, nobody bought it, and Tumblr just kind of laughed them off the platform. And that's kind of what the High School Musical felt like on Disney Channel. Like, it didn't feel as if there was actual hype for it. It felt like it was manufactured help. You remember the Tramp Stamps? It sucks because the Tramp Stamps is actually a pretty good name for a band. And now nobody else can use that name because if you mention the Tramp Stamps, they're going to think, oh yes, that industry plant. The Tramp Stamps. I laughed until I cried at that debacle. Also, I didn't say hi to everyone. Sorry. I'm in a bit of a panic, but I'm calming down now. Hey to Andrea and Kevin and Brian and Ultimate Breaker and Billy Donuts. And I know Dana's in chat. Brian McKee, Monster Slurpee. I think I saw Arid a little higher up. Oh, Zane. I don't know why I confused Zane and Arid. But hey guys, I think I saw Scooter as well. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out and thank you for being patient with me. I really do appreciate it. Nope, I remember the crossover of Sweet Life, That's a Raven, and Hannah Montana. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this was before the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and yet it felt like that's what Disney was trying to do with their teenager-focused live-action sitcoms. It felt like they were trying to build somewhere of the MCU with those properties, but this was way before the MCU existed, like before this was a thing. And Disney was already trying to make that a thing. And I just remember, I wasn't a child, I was either a teenager or I was just in my very early 20s. So basically a teenager with DLC. And I just remember being so grossed out by it, because it's not like I had this delusion that Disney was this amazing company and they were my parasocial friends or whatever, but it just genuinely felt so manufactured. Oh, Daboy is here. Oh, sorry, Daboy. I'll say your name for you. Hello, Daboy. But yes, it felt like so manufactured in an artificial way, in a way that's far grosser and more obvious than Disney usually does, which is saying a lot. TGIF did it in the 90s too, with like Family Matters and Full House. The thing is, I don't think I've seen that crossover, but I would almost want to see that more, because I want to see what happens if you unleash late season Urkel onto Full House. Because I can only imagine the greatest amount of chaos, but I would think that they would tell them to cool it with the insanity on Full House, because Full House is supposed to be like the super saccharine safe sitcom. And Family Matters kind of started that way, and then it just became batshit insane by its later seasons. So I would almost want to see that, but I imagine the idea of what I have in my head is it's much better than the actual crossover episode could ever be. I didn't watch Disney Channel as a kid, I was a Nickelodeon kid, but I remember the iCarly Victorious crossover. See, that was way, let's say, after my time, or rather not really after my time, that's just the time I was studying. So I didn't have access to a television or like network shows because I was studying in Canada, and I was renting a room in somebody's house. And so I just kind of stuck to my room. I didn't really use the rest of the house because it wasn't my house. And as a result, that's kind of just why I spent most of the time watching Spoonie and the Nostalgia Critic instead, because they had Wi-Fi. And I mean, this was 2008, 2007 maybe. So uncapped Wi-Fi for me, coming from South Africa, who was still on dial-up, that was like, you know, the world had opened up to me. So I wasn't too concerned with like what the Disney Channel, what Nickelodeon was doing with like iCarly and Victorious. So that completely passed by me. But I was there for Hannah Montana and High School Musical. But I do agree with you. I mean, we got Nickelodeon, I think, way before we got the Disney Channel. So I just grew up with early Nickelodeon much more than I did anything on the Disney Channel. As a result, I'm just kind of geared to like Nickelodeon more. I also think Nickelodeon has a bit more of an edge compared to the Disney Channel, or at least in the 90s it did. It's pretty sanitized these days. But it just kind of had a different feel to it. It didn't feel like a corporation. And that's probably because they had the whole, this network should feel like it's made by kids for kids going on. And I feel that really came across in the 90s. Of course, the one downside is it was almost impossible to get Nickelodeon merchandise. And I know that sounds insane to say in a post-SpongeBob world, but it was really, really difficult to find any merchandise for Nickelodeon shows whatsoever. I remember I got into like an eBay war with somebody for a Angry Beavers plush toy. And I had to like message the person. Like I was like, I don't know, I was like 13, okay? I messaged the eBay person who was competing with me, and I'm like, hey, I'm a child from Africa and I really want this plush because you can't buy it in my country. Please, can I have this? And they just let me. They were like, oh, shame, you can have it. And I still have that plush to this day. And that's my reminiscence of Nickelodeon. What did Scooter say? Oh, in 2007 to 2008, I was in 3rd grade. I agree. Scooter, never say that again. No, I try and like deprogram myself to the whole, you're so old, etc. thing, because, you know, not everybody gets to be over the age of 30, you know, that's not a privilege given to everyone. So I'm really trying to deprogram myself, like, oh God. Opinions on Rugrats / Thornberry crossover. It was very weird, and I don't think the two properties really blend together very well. I felt that those two properties kind of worked best in their own separate categories, because, yeah, again, I just don't, I watched it, but it was like decades ago at this point. I very clearly remember the Rugrats movie. And I very clearly remember the Rugrats in Paris movie. And I even remember the Wild Thornberrys movie. Yeah, it's giving me an error. If it disconnects, I'm going to switch to mobile data, so just hang tight and I'll restart the stream. Anyway, I remember the Wild Thornberrys movie. But I don't remember the Thornberrys and Rugrats crossover movie. And I know for a fact I saw it. Now, I'm a child from Africa. Well, it was true. I wasn't lying. I was a child from Africa. There was no lie in that email. I'm good? Okay, cool. I remember that one, the crossover actually worked. Oh no, here I see. Where was Brian? Oh, the Rugrats Thornberry crossover. Yeah, like, I actually remember the Wild Thornberrys movie being quite good. But then again, I always found that the Wild Thornberrys is just a legitimately good show. Maybe it's because I was one of those kids who was like really into animals and nature and things, you know, like the Dawning Kin Dursley and the Eyewitness books. I really liked those, so the Wild Thornberrys just kind of gelled with me very well, especially because, like, you know, you had like Nigel Thornberry voiced by not Tim Allen, good lord, no, can you imagine that? Tim Allen, no, Tim Curry voiced Nigel Thornberry. And I mean, that's like the best casting you could ever hope for. It's like one of the best roles that Nickelodeon ever had. If I recall, the first Rugrats movie made gangbusters against a relatively small budget. Yeah, because they had a very good idea for translating a TV show about babies into a movie, which is literally just, what if these babies got lost in the wood? And like, that's it. And because they're babies, it makes being lost in the wood like one of the biggest, most like incredible things that had ever happened. Plus you had all these stakes. Where is my curve tool? Oh, obviously it's under here, I forgot. You have all these stakes where you had the new baby brother and he didn't really like the baby brother and he had to learn to take care of the baby brother. Like, it all just worked very well because they stayed within the confines of what the original show was doing. It didn't go completely off the wall where, oh, the Rugrats TV show is about babies and now the Rugrats movie is about Godzilla attacking the city or whatever, right? They stayed within the confines of the show and that's why it worked. Rugrats in Paris went a little bit over the top, but again, the heart of that movie and the part that worked was Chucky and his father remarrying, and that's like the part of the movie that works the best. Okay, the scene where Tommy almost canes his brothers, very good. I can't, again, the 90s were wild. You could just do things in cartoons in the 90s. I remember watching a lot of Nickelodeon when it was back in its heyday, but I don't remember much of the shows. My memory for Cartoon Network is a steel trap though. Oh, absolutely. Like, Cartoon Network was the majority of my watch time as a child. And again, you know, I went into animation, so that's not a big shocker that I would be drawn to the network literally called Cartoon Network. But Nickelodeon had some real bangers, although I was probably the only child in the entirety of the 90s that did not like Ren and Stimpy. Like, I understand the historical importance of Ren and Stimpy. I do acknowledge and appreciate what it managed to do and how it dragged us out of the dark ages of the 80s into like a cartoon renaissance for the industry. That doesn't mean I need to like the show. And I never did. I remember watching it as like a very, very young child because I was like, that would be like start of the 90s. So I would be like, what, 3, maybe 4. And I just remember watching it, and like it had a lot of the toilet humor in it. And 3-year-old me is like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this? But by then, I mean, we had DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and things. And 4-year-old me just really clicked with that a lot more than Ren and Stimpy making fart jokes. And I think that says a lot about me as a person, probably. Ed, Edd n Eddy was God tier. You know what? When Ed, Edd n Eddy first started airing, they replaced the 1980s Beetlejuice cartoon on Cartoon Network in my country. And I was furious at first because I really enjoyed the Beetlejuice cartoon. And then you watch Ed, Edd n Eddy and it looks like that, and it's very much not the Beetlejuice cartoon, and I was so not on board. And then I watched like 2 episodes and I was like, never mind, this is actually like the best thing I've ever seen. So that all worked out for me. And to this day, it genuinely is like one of the best cartoons ever made. I think like low-key it genuinely is, because its use of visual gags and sound effects is just unlike any other cartoon, I think, ever. I only watched Ed, Edd n Eddy recently. It's mad funny. It's like genuinely good. I would catch clips of it on Tumblr because people will just clip certain jokes, and I'd watch it and I'd be like, damn, this was actually like an S-tier show. Like, it's not just nostalgia clouding my brain. It's genuinely like incredible what they put in that. What's my opinion on Rolf? I find him incredibly annoying, but I also think he's one of the funniest characters in the show. It depends how he's used in an episode. There are certain episodes where they focus on him too much, and I feel when they do that, he kind of outstays his welcome. But when they use him for like a one-off joke within an episode, he's usually the funniest part of the entire episode. So Rolf, I think, is a difficult character to balance, but I think he's a really good character. I was into Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I did like that, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the other shows, mainly because I didn't like Blue. Like, that's just a kind of character that I don't really connect with personally. I don't know why. It's not that I dislike the show, but because Blue is one of the main characters, it kind of made it difficult to really click with it. I did like Wilt. I was a big fan of Wilt. I love Rolf's Hat of Discipline and 3-show beating. He's got so many good lines. He had this one that I can't remember right now because my brain's a bit fried. He had one running joke. It wasn't "That's my horse," although that's very funny too. He had one running joke in one episode, and it was legitimately, I think, the hardest I've ever laughed watching anything. Brian said, I don't see Brian. Oh, could they even get away with a horror cartoon like Courage today? They might. Well, I mean, Gravity Falls exists. I know it came out a few years ago by now, but I do think that's kind of like a good sign. I just think that you would have to market it towards the execs in a certain way, and then you'd be able to get away with it. But as for Courage's surrealism, I'm not sure. That kind of feels like something only only Cartoon Network could really do in the 2000s. Maybe Nickelodeon in the 90s would have been okay with something like that. But yeah, Courage is so of its time in what it's able to show and get away with. Because in the later seasons of Courage, I was already a little too old to really be scared by anything it was showing, but the first season hit me when I was just young enough to really get what it was doing, and I was terrified of the first season. I remember that quite clearly. I think, like most people, the King Ramses episode was like the scariest thing I'd ever seen as a child by that point. Gravity Falls is almost 14 years old. Scooter, we told you not to say things like that. Yeah, the finale of Gravity Falls will soon be a decade. Yeah, it's so terrifying, man. Oh, you got ads? Yeah, I have to have the ads because I like eating, but that doesn't mean you have to like them. Feel free to like cuss them out in my chat. That's actually fine. I don't mind. Yeah, they returned the slab thing. it's genuinely creepy and it's really scary. Like, you watch it now, especially with like the HD capture, where you can see like the 3D cutout animation on King Ramses, and you can really, really see what's going on there. It's fine, but as a child watching it on a CRT TV in like blurry, blurry quality, where he's standing far from the camera and you can't even really make out what he's supposed to look like, that's really scary. Like, to this day, it's like, ugh, that's kind of unnerving. Some sequences in cartoon shows go super hard into the creep factor, so it's not like there isn't a desire for horror in cartoons. Oh no, there absolutely is a desire. The problem is that you have adults who feel like you can't expose children to horror. And I'm not saying this to like get on a soapbox or anything. I'm saying this as like a legitimate reason. A lot of them really worry about scaring children, so they're very hesitant on greenlighting things that are too extreme, because unfortunately, I think a lot of adults, is what I'm about to say, as if I'm a child myself, but I do think a lot of adults have extremely different spectrum. They're on extremely different parts of the spectrum in terms of what they think a child will find too scary. So what one adult would think is, oh, this is scary, but my kid will be okay with it. Another adult would be like, no, this is too far. We cannot show them this. And I'm thinking of like, I knew somebody whose kids were extremely upset watching a Disney movie in theaters because it had a trailer for Paranorman in front of the movie, and this person's children were just terrified of it. She was really upset that they would show a trailer like that. Whereas I know other kids who love Paranorman, they think it's like the best movie ever made. So again, it's really difficult because, again, kids are extremely different from each other. I think that's kind of the problem. Kids are like adults. They all have their personal preferences and things that they like, but children's media is considered like a genre unto itself. And there isn't that much wiggle room within the sphere of children's media that accounts for the fact that different children have different likes. So you have things that are like, oh, action show, oh, comedy show, educational show, but that's kind of as broad as it gets, really. Oh, and preschooler show, of course. But it doesn't really get too broad in terms of genre. And I think it's because they do kind of treat children as all liking the exact same genre of things, which is obviously not true, because again, I know the person I know whose children were terrified of the Paranorman trailer, and then I know other kids where like that's their favorite movie. Drink? What are we drinking to? Why shouldn't you scare children? Will this scary and kids need to learn how to handle fear? I mean, that is the reality of the situation, but I do think that there is that uncertainty in what is too extreme. I think that's really where it falls. It's not really a black and white thing of like, oh, we shouldn't have scary content for children. I think it's more that people struggle with what is the extreme, what is too far when it comes to horror for children. And then you get situations like in Wish, where originally the ending for Wish was going to be a lot darker. Not that anything changed, like story-wise too much. It does, but it doesn't. It still ends with Magnifico going berserk, but it was a lot more intense in the original draft. And as I say in the video, then one of the directors' children, who was like 8 at the time, started crying. So then they like really babyfied it and made it the extremely lame ending that we got. And it's really stupid to change an entire movie based on one child's reaction. But then you get the other extreme, which is my favorite villain, Katzenberg, specifically selecting children for this screening, like the audience test for The Little Mermaid, because he wanted to cut part of your world, because he thought it was boring. So he specifically like found kids and test audiences that would find that sequence boring, so that he could tell the other execs, see, kids find this part boring, we should cut it. And luckily that didn't happen, because I think it was Eisner who argued him down and told him, dude, this is literally the thematic theme of the entire film. We have this song like reprised 3 times throughout the movie. You can't cut this song. And Katzenberg crossed his arms and threw a tantrum about it. And yeah. There is a healthy way to scare someone and an unhealthy way to scare someone. You got to make the right balance for the right kid. Yeah, and it's difficult because all kids are different, right? But again, kids are naturally drawn to a certain amount of scary things, because if they weren't, Goosebumps wouldn't have been as popular as it was in the 90s. And I mean, that was insane. I was there. Goosebumps was insanely popular. I had a Goosebumps hardback book, right? That had 3 of the novels in one of them, and it came in hardback, and it had a button on the front where it had a skeleton face, and if you pushed the button on the front of the book cover, the skeleton's eyes would flash red and it would like laugh, like that flippin' evil stick toy that YouTube is like talking about. And that was just something you could have. And I remember, I think I was 10, and my parents like just bought it for me because I found it in the bookstore, and I was like, this is like the coolest thing ever. Can I have this? And they're like, yeah, sure. I don't think visual shock horror is good for kids. I know I hated this as a kid and avoided it like the plague. Yeah, see, it's a difficult thing to balance because, okay, I think I mentioned this in one of my very old videos. What you need to know about me as a person is that I grew up watching Watership Down. The first time I watched Watership Down, I was 4 years old. And although there were parts of it I found scary, I did not like respond to that movie with like genuine fear. They were just parts of it I found scary. I do not know that Watership Down is a movie I would ever show a child on my watch. So, yeah, they cut the main leitmotif of If I Never Knew You in Pocahontas, though. It wouldn't have made a good movie, but it still baffles me the love ballad that you can hear in the background was cut. Yeah, that was weird. I should look up if that was Katzenberg as well, because that just feels like a Katzenberg. No, it might not have been, because I think he threw a tantrum and left Disney at that point, because he asked for a raise after The Lion King, and they told him no, so he left Disney. He like threw a tantrum and was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna have my own animation studio with blowjob and hookers, and then he made DreamWorks with Steven Spielberg and a bunch of other people, and then he made Shrek. And that's how that happened. I'm 25 and I still haven't watched Watership Down. I do recommend it, actually. It's legitimately a good movie. I've said before how I get really despondent that a lot of people will watch Watership Down and literally just boil it down to, oh, it's so violent for an animated movie. I'm like, did you pay attention to literally anything in the movie? There's a lot going on in that movie. I recently watched one of the movie reactors I enjoy watching while I'm doing other stuff. Ashley Burton watched it recently, and I was so happy because even though she was like a little shocked by how violent it gets, she was really, really into like the strange rabbit religion that goes on in that movie and the way that the spiritualism works with the rabbits. She was really, really into that, and I was so happy because I'm like, wow, somebody actually paid attention to the story. Isn't Watership Down the movie with the rabbits murdering each other? See, that's what pisses me off. Yes, but also it is that movie, but that's not the most interesting part of that movie. Like, it's a violent movie, but that's not why I enjoy the movie. As much as I love horror, I'm a big fan of horror, but that's not why I like Watership Down. Watership Down is... I've seen people describe it as like the rabbit version of Lord of the Rings. And I guess that can kind of be a comparison, although I think it's more like The Hobbit than Lord of the Rings. But it does have this feeling of going on this grand quest that is full of like actual dangers. And there is a larger lore and spiritualism that the rabbits follow, because there's an entire rabbit religion in that movie. And I read the book as well, and it's a little bit more involved in the book, because like they go into the rabbit language and what certain words mean. Like the reason Fiverr is called Fiverr. I didn't do Watership Down. I mentioned it in my Halloween video. The reason why Fiverr is called Fiverr in the movie is because rabbits can't count past 5. So in rabbit language, every number that's 5 and higher is 1,000. So Fiver's name also translates into Little Thousand. And the reason he's called that is because he was the fifth bunny in the litter. He was the fifth kitten in his litter. So the name Fiver translates to Fiver, it translates to Little Thousand, and it also translates into the runt of the litter. That's why that's his name. And like none of that is in the movie. They just call him Fiver. And you're like, oh, I guess that's his name. And it's like, there's actually a reason why he's called Fiver. It's like lore that's not relevant to a movie unless you have like, I want to say Kate Winslet, but that's not who it is. Like Kate Winslet giving you an opening narration explaining rabbit language and rabbit religion to you. Rabbit religion sounds so hilarious to me. It does until you watch the movie, and then it makes perfect sense. Because it's all based around like being a prey animal. That's like what the religion focuses entirely around, is being a prey animal in a world of predators. And how that came about and what it means to be a prey animal like a rabbit that's basically eaten by everything, and what that means if you are in fact a member of a prey species. And like that's what the religion is based around. And the religion is also like why the rabbit warrens are constructed the way they are. And there's a lot of there are a lot of things in it as well, such as like the birth of kittens. There's like that book is so dense. There's a reason why they didn't include everything in the movie, because the movie would be like 3 hours long. Oh, pray, I get... No, I wasn't making a pun. Although that is very funny. No, but it focuses on being a prey animal. That's, like I said, that's the core theme of the religion in of itself, and being hunted by everything. And there's other little details, like there's a character in the movie called Hyacinth, which is not a real word. But in the book, it's explained that her name Hyacinth is a rabbit word specifically meaning I think it's sunlight reflecting off fur. I think that's what Hyacinth means, if I remember correctly. And what was the other thing? There was another word, but I can't remember what it is exactly. But there's also another rabbit word that kind of has a strange meaning like that doesn't really have an English equivalent. Oh, that's what it was. There's also different languages in the book. There's the language that the rabbits speak. And then there's like how you would have in certain fantasy stories, you have a common language. And in Watership Down, you have the rabbit language, which is supposedly what the book is in. And then you have the common language, and this is the language that the rabbits use to speak to other animals. And that's why in the movie, when they meet the seagull is speaking in broken English, and why Hazel tries to speak to him also using broken English. It's because they're speaking common. They're not speaking either of their like home languages. They're both speaking common, and it's a very, very, very simplified language that can be spoken across species. Again, it's really, really interesting. It's so good, you guys. And I saw somebody ask, have I heard of the movie Faladay? I have. And that's another movie I've read the book for. The movie Faladay and the book Faladay are extremely close to each other. They're very, very, very close. I don't remember there being much in the book Faladay that's not in the movie Faladay, other than like Faladay is written from a first-person perspective, from Francis's perspective, who's the main cat. And other than Francis describing how he's experiencing things, there's not that much different in the book that's not in the movie. Like, basically things that happen in the book happen one-to-one in the film. Her rabbithood is a spectrum fluff, and stones are quiet because the trees are listening. Yeah, Fiver is the second one. I figured that I have... I've never seen Watership Down. Was it made by the same people who made Plague Dogs? Yes. And I have actually not seen Plague Dogs. That's one of those movies where I'm literally too afraid to watch it. Because I'm okay with Watership Down, because the violence that happens in that movie is very much natural order. You know, it's dogs that catch and eat rabbits. It's cats that catch and eat rabbits. It's building That, like when you do construction, you need to get rid of the rabbit warrens in construction. It's all things that like just happen in real life. Whereas Plague Dogs is very specifically about animal experimentation, and that's just such an extremely upsetting topic that I don't really want to touch it in terms of like a viewing experience, unless I like really steel myself and I know that this is what I'm going in to watch. But even as somebody who really likes horror, that's not a pleasant topic. It's not really a topic that makes for an enjoyable movie experience. So I've just kind of put it off because it just doesn't sound like a good time. It sounds like a really bad time. It's very good. Yeah, I know, I hear it's very good. And I've seen like gifs of it moving and it's gorgeous. I'm just too afraid to actually watch it because I know that it's going to be extremely upsetting to me. That's something I find weird about D&D lore. All the races have their own languages, except humans. They all speak common. Do humans have their own language in D&D? I don't know. My D&D knowledge is not that great. I know that apparently in the Forgotten Realms, the races didn't start in Faerun or Toriel. I don't think they started there. I think they got transported there from their respective places. That's why you have like Greek gods in the Forgotten Realms. It's like why you have Zeus. It's why you have Bahamut. It's why those gods are in the Forgotten Realms stories, is because they were literally brought there from Earth. But I am not very clued up on D&D lore or Forgotten Realms lore. I just remember that being part of it and that kind of just explaining why that is the way it is. It's kind of like how in Game of Thrones, English is referred to as Westerosi, which is an acceptable shortcut given context of Westeros versus Essos. Yeah, like there's ways around it. You don't have to be Tolkien and like come up with several brand new functioning languages. Or the guy, I always forget his name, the guy who developed the Klingon language, and he also developed the language spoken in Atlantis, the Last Empire, or the Lost Empire, which the language spoken by the Atlanteans in that movie is actually a functioning language. Like, that's a language you can sit down and learn how to speak. Because again, they hired the guy who developed Klingon to develop that language. Is that my Wi-Fi or yours messing up? I think for once in my life, it might be yours because I'm getting excellent health here. Some gods are brought over, other gods are naturally occurring. Ah, okay. Tolkien was literally a linguistic professor. Not only that, I read his foreword in the copy of the books I have, and he spent most of his life writing Lord of the Rings, and then he spent the rest of his life editing Lord of the Rings, because he says that there are factual errors in Lord of the Rings in terms of like family trees and things. So the rest of his life was literally just him correcting tiny details like that. It's fine here? Okay. Thank you. So for once in my life, it's not me. For once, it's not Seabuff. It's Velma. No, it's fine. I started editing the Velma finale. At first, I was terrified because my audio was like 2 hours long, and I'm like, good Lord. But after I edited it and took out like the pauses where I'm scrolling to the next page or where I have to redo a take, it ended up only being an hour and a half, which is still a lot. But considering I'm covering episodes 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, it's actually not that bad because I breeze over most of the episodes and then I only really talk about episode 9 and 10 in extreme depth. I'm struggling with this line. Hold on. So at least it's not as long as it could have been. It's still long, but it's not that bad. To curse you, Velma. Now, I don't mind Monster Slurpee. As I said to one of my friends, I've got so much Mass Effect lore in my stupid brain that a lot of D&D lore just kind of doesn't sink in the way Mass Effect lore does. You flinched like an abused dog when you heard the number 6, 7. I want to say I hate that meme, but that's kind of a strong word. I just think it's dumb. There's like no actual...
You have received a new message.
Thank you, Avina. Oh, thanks, Dana. Tune to blame again. Blame Velma. Blame Velma. It's not even a real show anyway. It's not. It's legitimately not a real show. It is a real show, but it's like the version of a skinwalker of what a show is. Hold on. My cable is bumping my mic. Sorry if you can hear that. Let me just... do that. Now the cable is out of the way. Okay, cool. Sorry if it was bumping the mic. I don't even get it. The show, Velma, nobody gets it. I am having to cut out vast sections of the episodes simply because they'll focus... oh, the meme. I don't even get it. It's 2 numbers. What's the joke? There is no joke. The joke is somebody said it in a funny voice, and that's the joke. And I'm like, that's not funny. That's not a joke, you know. At least the numbers 69 are funny for a reason. So it's like, it's not even that I'm upset that it's a meme because I don't like absurdism, because that's like my favorite form of humor. I don't like that it's a meme because it just seems lazy to me. I'm like, come on guys, you've got to put in more effort than this. Come on now, really. The 6-7 meme is like just the equivalent of you lost the game, like that's it. No, because you lost the game is actually quite clever, and damn it, you just made all of us lose, Dana. Velma is AI generated garbage by a hateful AI. I don't think it is. If I can say anything, it's that the show is not generated, because if it were, it would follow a basic plot structure a lot closer. Like, it would be really incredibly lame, but it would at least follow some level of structure, whereas it's so broken on a fundamental level. I would think that ChatGPT will have stolen enough novels and movies to at least recognize what a plot structure should be. Whereas Velma, there just is no structure. I still don't know what is 6-7. That's it. That's the meme. It's the numbers. Because a kid on TikTok said it in a funny voice. That's literally... all you need to know is it's something that originated on TikTok. I think that explains everything. 6-7 is SpongeBob and Patrick giggling at the back of class to make other people's lives hell. Yeah. Oh, hey, Shady Durags. I would argue you nailed it in the season 1 when you said Velma wished it was Daria. It really does, but in the 2nd season, I don't know if it's trying to be anything. It's really bizarre, and I stand by my theory of part 1, where they wanted it to be a lot meaner and like very nasty the way the 1st season was. But then they saw everybody's reaction to the 1st season, so they had to cut out a lot of that mean-spiritedness because everybody hated it. And as a result, you're left with like the first draft of whatever this new version of the show is. And it's just awful. 69 420 Blazer. Yeah, like those actually they're not particularly funny, but at least there's some kind of like construct there. There's a joke to be understood, even if you think it's not funny. Whereas it's like, oh, it's 6 and 7 said in a funny voice. It's like, a lot of things have been said in funny voices, and they're a lot funnier than whatever this is. But again, it's TikTok, so what can you explain? What can you expect? I read the word explain on screen as I tried to say expect. Velma is the first assault on humanity from Am. You know what? That I would actually believe. That seems about on point, yeah. Speaking of which, when I do the Amazing Digital Circus video, I'm gonna have to play I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I own it, I just have to sit down and play the whole thing. Either that or watch a long play, which might be easier because then I can do something else while I'm watching. I think the long play archive might have it. I might do that instead of like playing it myself. Ah yes, Brian, Skibbity Toilet, Ohio, Rizzler to you too. Yeah, exactly. But again, all of those are actually like rooted in some form of humor at least. Reading and talking is a good way to say funky things, yeah. And I'm like, I'm talking, I'm drawing, theoretically, I'm reading chat, and I'm monitoring my connection like a hawk. So that's what I'm doing. ADHD does have its uses sometimes. I don't get the Ohio jokes either. It's because Ohio it sounds exactly like good morning in Japanese. That's what it is. Like there's at least like a precedent there for why it's a joke. To the point that I was watching when I was visiting my dad, I think they had Jeopardy on or something, one of these game shows. And they actually had that as one of the final questions, as which American state sounds like the Japanese word for good morning. And I was watching with my dad and I was screaming, Ohio! So I'm hearing I need to read I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream before I watch your Digital Circus review. No, the book is called, what is the book called? Is the book also called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream? I know that's what the video game is called, but I don't know whether the book is called that as well. I get a little confused because I always think of Solaris being based on Roadside Picnic. So the word, just because the title Roadside Picnic is such a striking name for the kind of story Solaris is, that always sticks in my head because it is the same. It's the same. Okay. Yeah, I get confused between Roadside Picnic and I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Hey, that little satellite. How you doing? TikTok will be the downfall of humanity. It's so weird because, like, Vine was much better, right? Like, we all agree that Vine was so much better than TikTok. And it's genuinely just, Vine had a 6-second limit. That's the only difference between the two. It's insane. But I go by the personal belief that you should never believe anything you hear in a vertical video. Anything said in a vertical video, just don't listen to it. If you hear it in a horizontal video on YouTube, you can look it up if you're skeptical, but if it's said in a vertical video, just automatically don't believe it. I'm doing good? Oh, that's good. I used to live in Cincinnati, Ohio for 8 months. Then I was laid off from my job and had to move back to Michigan. I don't know much about American states, but I would imagine Michigan is at least a step up from Ohio. Ohio to me seems a lot like the Free State in South Africa, where the Free State is essentially just an entire province dedicated to farming and cattle. And that's it. There's nothing else going on in the Free State, like, at all. It's just that. So I imagine Ohio is much the same. The craziest people here in Florida are the politicians. No politics in my chat. I swear, most of what I learned about Florida, I learned from Implement's video on Talladega, which is still possibly the greatest YouTube video I've ever watched in my entire life, simply from a script writing perspective. I'm sure I've talked about this before. Like, that video is a level of script writing that I aspire to be able to achieve one day. And not every video by Implement reaches that level of writing, but that video was like a life-changing experience to me. And I don't even care about NASCAR. Like, the only reason I have any interest in NASCAR whatsoever is because of that video, because that's how good that video was. The problem I have with TikTok is a lot like why I don't like Reddit. It's such a thumb-twiddling app. It's just such a time waster. At least YouTube can sometimes activate your brain. I think Tumblr is the same because, as you guys know, that's kind of my main hangout. Tumblr, because there is no like character limit and a lot of academics and weirdos on there, it requires you to like read a lot, and very often you get things on your dash about like classic literature or science or something, and it's just some random person like info dumping about their special interest. It's not like trying to educate or lecture you. It's just somebody who really, really likes a topic, like pill bugs, I suppose, and they'll just info dump about pill bugs, and that post will somehow end up on your dash, and then you're like, okay, I guess that's what I'm learning about today. I'm trying to design a new female human OC. What should they wear? Do they have any powers, or like a specific animal that they connect with? You know, like if you want to design, again, I'm not much of a designer, but I'm a little better at analyzing existing designs. But what you can do is you can look at aspects about her personality and her life and then incorporate that in the actual design. Like, I'm drawing Rosalina here. Now, Rosalina, her design is actually quite simple, but there's certain things here that going on that's very clever, and I just realized I forgot her earrings. You've got the star motif, obviously, but she's also got the very flowing dress. And Rosalina, she floats around a lot. She doesn't really walk like Peach and Daisy do. So she has this much more flowing dress because it kind of gives this illusion. It like emphasizes that flowiness. And I think that's also why her dress is in an empress cut. I'm on the wrong layer. It's in an empress cut rather than a hoop cut. I think Peach's dress is a hoop cut. If I just go off the top of my memory, let me just look before I make a fool of myself. Princess Peach. Yeah, she's got a classic hoop cut dress, if you compare. Just open this picture here and grab it. Copy image. Go here. Go here. Paste. Ah! She's huge! As you can see, like Peach, she has got a more classical hoop cut to her dress, which is kind of more what we think about when we think about princesses. We tend to think more the... I'm just calling it hoop cut. I don't even know if that's the real word. Where her dress is here at the waist and then has the hoop underneath it to give it this dimension. Whereas Rosalina has the empire or empress cut. I forget if it's empire or empress. Which it starts under the bust line and then it's just a straight line going down. Now, usually it would kind of be more like a pillar. But in her case, because she floats around a lot, because she's in space, they've given it a little bit more space here just to kind of give the impression of 0G. That's why that's got going on. That's why it has that going on. And similar for her sleeves, it also has ruffles and more space to it so that when she's floating around, you do get the impression that it communicates the idea of 0G a lot more. Whereas Daisy's outfit, I mean, it comes from the 80s or 90s, no, 80s, but it has the more classical princess cut. And Daisy, let me just double check Daisy because I think her dress is slightly different. No, it's not. Okay. I was under the impression that Daisy's dress was a little bit higher than Peach, but it's not really. But if we look at Daisy's dress, she's also huge. She also has the hoop cut here. But what they've done for her is she's a bit of just a recolor of Peach, but what they have different is they've got these like double ruffles here at the bottom. And what happens is that when this character moves, this will like communicate movement a lot more than the hoop dress would. And that matches Daisy's personality a lot more because Daisy tends to be more, you know, she's the more energetic of the trio. So her just having a design to her dress that kind of communicates movement a lot more matches her personality. I also noticed she has shorter gloves. And again, it gives her a slightly more sporty look to her. So there's some thought here, even though she could just be called a recolor of Peach. And Rosalina, they've built her entire design around the concept of zero gravity. And her hair spikes here, I imagine, is supposed to make us think of a star pattern as well. Because you've got this fringe here, and then you've got the spikes going out there. And she's got the crown on top. So it kind of communicates that idea to us a little bit more. So when you're designing a character, it helps to incorporate something about their personality or where they're from, or like something about the environment they come from. Like if you just look at those things and kind of nail down what it is you want to communicate by the character's design, so that people have a very good idea of who the character is when they look at the character before they even get to know the character. For my avatar thingy here, I gave my avatar like the short shorts because I cannot wear them in real life. But my avatar kind of has the design where she's a little bit retro with the more pastel colors, because that's just the kind of thing I like. But they're also a little bit brighter, and they tend to kind of match the kind of vaporwave look that I really like as well. And also the kind of music I sometimes use in my videos and stuff, and the purple neon background that I'm using. Like, it all kind of communicates with each other very well. And that's why I went that direction. And the reason I have a lot of stars is just because the star pattern is just a pattern I really like in real life. I have a lot of clothing items that have stars or galaxy patterns on them just because it's something I like. And just focusing on things that I like and then finding a way to kind of harmonize them in a singular design is how I put together my avatar. Oh, I realized that she has ruffle cuffs. It fits the daisy flower motif. Oh, there you go. And also, yeah, I've turned it off now, but that's another thing. She's got ruffles as well to kind of echo the whole flower thing as well. I know this isn't the best looking star, but her stars on her ears are actually very strange. Oh no, they're 4 point. Okay, hold on, I have to redraw this. They're not 5 point, they're 4 point. Neat lessons on dress design. I'm just saying what I like. I'm just looking at it and I'm saying what I'm seeing and what it makes me think if I were to try and understand what the thought process behind the design is. Not from like an academic perspective, because I did not study any of this, but just if I were to look at it and tell you what I notice and how it matches the character and what we know about her, you can find what the thought process was, just like looking at the design. Why can't you wear short shorts in real life? Because it would not look good. No, it doesn't look good on me. That's why I tried for a while and then I just decided to give up. I prefer skirts and like the genie pants, like the very puffy pants. I really like those because I decided when I was about 23 or so that I'm never wearing jeans again because I hate them. I hate the way jeans feel. So my entire life has just basically been trying to find pants that are comfortable that aren't jeans. I'm learning a lot about character design today. I'm not a good character designer, but I feel I have at least some understanding when it comes to analyzing things that exist and understanding what the thought process was behind the thing that exists. But when it comes to like sitting down and creating something, I'm not super good at that. I need like some kind of foundation to work off of. It's okay, I can't pull off short shorts either. So I'm not alone. That's good to know. This is what we're learning on stream now. I guess so. This is what we're talking about today. But it's interesting. Like, I really like this kind of stuff. And when I do the Amazing Digital Circus video, I do want to talk about the character design a lot because the character design in that show is extremely good. Not only in terms of animation and like how recognizable the characters are, but as well as how they relate to the characters' personalities and the psychology going on with every single character. It's very, very well thought out. It's very clever design. They don't just look in a way they do to like capture the attention of like the Tumblr sexy man crowd or like the FNAF. What do they call themselves? The FNAFdom, I suppose. Like the people who play Poppy's Playtime. What's it called? Poppy's Playhouse, whatever. Like that crowd. They're not just designed to hook that crowd. There's actual thought going on as to why each character looks the way they do. Khakis are the way to go. Yeah, they don't look good on me. Do you have any suggestions for characters who are of a dark palette, dark of skin, dark of clothing, etc.? Designs I'm working on does have bright, vibrant eyes, but the rest is dark color. I would suggest having at least one brighter color, but only as an accent color if you don't want the entire design to be bright. Because I'm thinking of Jacinth. I'm actually going to pull her on screen just because I love her design so much. Yeah, I know, I can see the error. Hang in there, YouTube. We're doing well. Just stay with me. Okay, today I learned that Jacinth is actually a kind of stone. I did not know that. Just wait for this image to load, copy image, go back to YouTube, see that I'm still online. Okay, I'm good. Let me know if it dies, but it should still be okay. Jacinth is just a fantastic balance here because obviously they balance the darker skin with a lot of light pastels, which is a very good way to do that. I personally like when I made my Drow character, which I know is not actually a great comparison, but stick with me. When I did my Drow character in Baldur's Gate, I don't actually like going too dark with the skin with the white hair because it can be quite jarring. So in game, I find her skin and pastel to be a little bit high contrast for my liking, but she looks very good in the illustration. I actually really like the way they did this. And I think what helps is she actually has a very cool skin tone. It's leaning, she's got a cool undertone to her skin, which then is complemented very well by having the lavender look. Like, she's not pink, she's very, very clearly lavender. And having a cooler skin tone matching with the purple design works very well. But anyway, you were asking about dark and light balance. Now with Jacinth, she's obviously got a much lighter design. But if you wanted to go like a dark-skinned character with dark clothing, I would still suggest putting in like an accent color. I'm trying to see if I can find... like, I'm thinking of fashion. That's what I'm thinking of. You tend to find... high fashion outfits where they will use a darker skinned model and then they will have like very flowing cloths, and what they will often do is they will have gold as the accent color, and it would usually be the trim of the dress around, like down the front, or they will have some level of shine to the bottom of the dress, just to kind of give a little bit of an accent to break up the dark character design. And I think that's what I would suggest as well, is finding just one color that's either light and saturated or more pastel or anything like that, and then using that to just accentuate the darker colors. Or you could just go full dark colors, but in that case you run the risk of your character kind of looking like the Void, which is good, but only if that's what you want to go for. If that's not what you want to go for, then obviously you should find a way to just kind of break up that that shade. And again, I think it's a good idea to look at contrasts and using things like black and white, like switching your canvas to black and white might be a good way to look at your contrast and how certain colors look in terms of the lighting. And that's a very good way to kind of decide which direction you want to go for. You could even probably do it in black and white first, and then use an overlay layer with different colors and see what works best. Just curious, why are the glasses below the eyes in your avatar and not directly in front like they are on others? Add to the relaxed look or on purpose? My friend actually drew this avatar for me. It could be that my glasses just do that in real life. They always slide down, and I think that's why sometimes in my videos I sound very nasally. It's because my glasses are pinching off my air supply and I can't breathe. But also I think it's also just a communication, because I made my glasses on my avatar that I drew myself quite big so that they can frame my eyes, whereas my friend here, she's drawn them just a little bit below because she put a shine to the glass, and just so that it better communicates like what my expression is, they just have the glasses a little bit below to kind of show that expression a little bit more clearly. Started streaming 6-7 minutes ago. Shush, be quiet. Scooter, you're on thin ice today. Oh no, that's just rude. Basic understanding of color theory is advisable. Yeah, like, you don't need to be a master with color. I mean, I am terrible with color. I am often genuinely dismayed at how bad I am at color theory. But at least I understand it on like a theoretical level, which helps. Like I said, just the whole balancing of pastels and darker shades and things like that. Like, it's very, very basic, but it's good enough to kind of carry you to a point where you can figure something out. And then a lot of it is just playing around and seeing with what works. Because my avatar, originally the design was a pick crew that I put together, and then I kind of took that pick crew. Which layer am I on? I'm on the wrong layer, I think. Yes, I am. Okay, hold on. And then I just took that pick crew, and what I did then is just adapt it to something that I like more. Like, I changed the colors, I changed the outfit, I used Pinterest a lot, and I looked at different designs and mixes of things, and then I just kind of took everything I liked and made like kind of a mood board where I put everything on one picture so I could see everything at once. And I'm terrible with backgrounds as well. I'm asking a friend to help me make a proper location for my videos where my character is actually standing somewhere and not just the purple void. However, what I'm also doing is I built like a Pinterest board where I put the things that I think of that I would like the background to look like. And it's not like, oh, the couch goes here, the TV goes there. It's more like, this is the design and aesthetic I'm going for. Like that kind of thing, like just kind of building an idea of what it is you like and going from there. I love the channel's color scheme though. Oh no, do I have bad taste? Am I too bad at color theory? No. The channel is a lot of hours browsing Pinterest and seeing what I like. That's often what it comes down to. It's not even what is good, it's what I like. And eventually, if you just put a certain amount of things you like and finding a theme there, you can kind of build a style, because you have tastes as it is. You just need to kind of incorporate them in a good way. But it also helps to have a little bit, to have some level of focus, because as I said, I really like horror as well. But I don't have a lot of horror implemented in my channel or my design, because that's not what I'm going to be focusing on. I'm not going to make horror content. So I don't want to give the impression that that's a focus of the channel, so I don't have it really in the aesthetic at all. Currently doing a background myself, and it's a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I'm genuinely terrible at backgrounds, like to a degree where I've just accepted that that is not something that I will ever be good at. And instead of torturing myself trying to become good at it, after struggling with it in like official college classes where they try to teach you how to do it, up until now, it's like, I think I can just accept that this is not a strength of mine, and it doesn't have to be. I have other strengths that I can apply and focus on those instead, rather than torturing myself to do something that I'm not good at, when I can rather just look for people who do specialize in that sort of thing and ask and like pay them and ask their help to use their expertise, rather than me doing a bad job and then just getting frustrated with it. Purple voids for the win. Yeah, I want to keep the purple void aesthetic to some degree, even though it's just like a basic asset. It's like a free asset I pulled off YouTube or a stock website or something. So I do want something that's more personalized to me specifically. Her hair looks wild if I look at it like this. I do want something that's personalized to me specifically, but because that's been like a look of the channel for such a while now, I do want to kind of keep it to some degree so it doesn't just disappear, because again, it's already established as a vibe. I'm good enough. I have value outside of designing backgrounds. I am loved, yeah, basically. I love purple voids though, although it's also my favorite color, so I could be a bit biased. I mean, it's fine. Let me see if I can bring up some of the images I saved as a concept of what I'm thinking. Okay, this was a bunch of Utopia, Scholastic Utopia images, but I'm not actually going in that direction. I was grabbing that for a different reason. Okay, this is kind of, I don't want to do a bedroom. I know a lot of like VTubers like using bedrooms. I don't really want to do that, but this is kind of what I'm thinking, like something leaning more towards this look. And where's my favorite image that I absolutely love? Oh, there's this one as well. Like, again, this is kind of leaning in that direction, thinking about that, like incorporating it to a certain degree, but I also don't want it to be too dark, because otherwise it's going to look weird when my character's standing in front of it and there's, you know, she's not within the space. So there's other ideas, like also something more like this, where the light is hitting her. I think this might be a real image. I hope this is. If it's not, I'm going to be very upset. But where's the other one I really like? The one idea I had was maybe like a video store as a background. That might be a cool idea. I was thinking maybe like a mall core. Look, I think this was actually made in The Sims. Either that or Blender. It looks like Blender. Where is this image? I hope it's on this computer. Otherwise, it's on my laptop somewhere. Yeah, I think it's on my laptop. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of like a actual location to put my character, where it's still kind of reflecting the purple void, but it's an actual location. It's not just floating in front of a rather flat background, right? It kind of gives the illusion of space a little bit, which is what I want to go for. I kind of just want to give the idea that my character is somewhere and not just standing in front of a green screen or something. Seapuff coming to you live from the Purple Vaporwave Backrooms. I'm so excited for the Backrooms movie. I'm so excited. That one better come here. Iron Lung did not come here. They better give us the Backrooms movie. Although they might, because it's A24. So there's a much better chance of me actually getting to see the Backrooms in a theater than Iron Lung. Whereas Iron Lung, I guess it's indie, right? I don't know whether it's got like a big publisher. I don't know. Liminal Spaces Vaporware Core, kind of, with a little bit of pool room thrown in there, with a little bit of like Memphis design, a little bit of that. Exit 8 is becoming a movie too. Exit 8 is already a movie. I actually saw it up for grabs on a certain website that I have access to, and I saw it up there already, but I haven't grabbed it for various reasons. I have to be careful what I say on YouTube. I don't want to encourage bad behavior. But yeah, the Exit 8 movie is out already. From what I can see on Letterboxd, it's apparently just okay, but I still want to see it because the concept is interesting and it's got a very strong aesthetic to it, which I would like to see in like a movie form. And I just think it's a cool idea. It's a cool idea, and it's a cool idea for horror. And I think it's much more interesting to see newer horror movies leaning into these more abstract ideas than it is to make another Conjuring movie. I'm so sick and tired of these like Conjuring movies and the Terrifier, and like it's the most boring version of horror to me. It's such a bland version of horror for a genre that can be extremely interesting. So I really like that there's these weirdo horror movies coming out like Iron Lung and The Backrooms and Exit 8 and like all these places. There is another Japanese movie. No, I think it's Korean. Korean or Japanese? I can't remember. There's a movie coming out called The Wailing, or it has come out, called The Wailing. And apparently that one's really bogus, like insane bonkers bananas. But I've been too afraid to watch it because apparently it's really upsetting. And I don't know why, because it's one of those movies where you can't explain to people why it's upsetting without ruining the entire movie. So I'm a little scared of it. Did you know there's a funny parody of Exit 8 called Toilet 8? You're stuck in an infinite bathroom filled with anomalies. I think Vinny played that. I'm pretty sure Vinny played that. Watching Vinny play Exit 8 is infuriating. I think somebody made a joke about that in the review section of Letterboxd, where somebody was like, watching this movie is like watching Vinny play this game. Obviously, the FLAF movies are the future of horror films. You know what? They're not good. Like, they're not good movies. But I do kind of like that there's something going on there. They're stupid and not very well made. Well, they're well made. They're not very well written. But like, at least they're interesting visually. And I know it's just FNAF, but at least there's like some idea there. Like, there's something going on. Whereas again, I'm just sick and tired of like what is essentially Temu Nightmare on Elm Street. I like Nightmare on Elm Street. I really like that series. Some of them are absolutely terrible. Some of them are really good. But the Terrifier and all of that just kind of comes across as like the bootleg Nightmare on Elm Street. And the Conjuring universe really doesn't interest me whatsoever. I haven't even bothered to see most of it, because it's based on the Warrens, and I don't give a shit about the Warrens. They were a bunch of con men that believed their own bullshit, and I'm not interested, because I'm gonna watch those movies and I'm just gonna get like really annoyed at the Warrens being in it, because I don't like the Warrens. I made a post on Tumblr not too long ago saying that every single time the Warrens get mentioned in this YouTube video I'm watching, I turn into that scene from Animal House where they just throw beer at the projection screen. That's what happens to me when the Warrens appear. So I just throw my beer can at the projection screen and like complain loudly. So would you prefer more slasher movies? I like slasher, but it's not my favorite because slasher movies are just kind of dumb. They're fun, but they're stupid, you know, but at least they're stupid on purpose. But I'm just going to my top. I made a list of my favorite horror movies that I now use for reference. Here we go. I said this in the last stream actually, but my favorite horror movies are M from 1931, Candyman from 1992, Godzilla Minus One, which you could argue whether that counts as a horror movie or not, the 1970s Nosferatu, The Shining, The Others, The Thing, Hausu, The Night of the Hunter from 1955, and Hexen from 1922. Like, those are my favorite horror movies, and it's not in my top 10, but I know that Memories of Murder is on here too, and Memories of Murder I watched for the first time recently, and that's an insane movie. If you want to watch like a really, really good movie, watch Memories of Murder. It's a movie where no progress is made because it's about a serial killer that really existed in South Korea in the 80s. And the movie was made before they identified who he was. They caught him after the movie. But the movie is just about this small town trying to cope with the serial killer. And because they hadn't found out who he was in real life, you also don't find out in the movie. So it's a movie where no progress is made whatsoever, and yet it's like one of the most fascinating true crime movies I've ever seen in my life. It's so good. And yes, M is really, really good as well. Oh, M is amazing. It's so good. It's so good. Bluntman, I see said something because I see Shady Durags replying to it. Oh, there. I want to see a movie based on FNAF Security Breach. That will likely be either next film or fourth film considering the story so far. You know what? I would actually be very okay with a Security Breach movie for no other reason than my father worked at a theme park / casino / water park in the early 2000s and late 90s. So I have a very, very specific nostalgia for that look of an indoor large entertainment building. So I like Security Breach just because of the location, and the reason I like it for the location is entirely based on a very, very specific kind of nostalgia that I don't think anyone else has. I really need to rewatch Rosemary's Baby when I wasn't drunk off my ass. It was the first horror movie I remember watching as a young adult, but I was not taking it seriously at all. That is one I have not seen simply because I am nervous because I hear it is upsetting. However, I was told that many years ago, and I've probably reached the point where I would be fine with it now. So what's the best horror movie based on a video game so far? That is a very good question. And the first thing that pops into my head, and I hate it, is that awful... not Night of the Living Dead. What is that awful movie by Uwe Boll? I hate that that's House of the Dead. I hate that that's the first thing I thought of because it's like one of the worst movies ever made just in general, and yet that's the first thing I thought of when you said that. It's not that movie. It is absolutely not any of the Uwe Boll movies whatsoever. House of the Dead, yeah. Why was that the first thing I thought of? Believe it or not, I actually do have that nostalgia because I grew up going to Disney Quest. I instantly fell in love with Security Breach because of that aspect alone. Oh, interesting! Because, yeah, my dad worked at Sun City, which I think is fine to say. I don't think that's like a dox or anything. Let me see if I can find the pictures that I was posting because I was talking about this recently. I think I put them in this folder. Where is the picture? But yeah, it's a kind of nostalgia for that dark room theme park. Here it is. Yes. Where's the photo I'm thinking of specifically? Okay, that's the amphitheater. Okay, this is the Bridge of Time at Sun City, and every hour on the hour, this bridge has an artificial earthquake, and it has like smoke spewing out of the sides. Oh, here it is. And this is the palace. And this in front of the palace is called the Royal Bath. And the palace is actually the 5-star hotel. I've never been inside the palace. I've only been inside the entertainment center, which is the casino. And then the water park, you've got the Royal Baths here, and then the water park goes further down where it's got the wave pool and it's got the slide of courage and all of that. And then you've got the amphitheater, which I heard that they shot some scenes of Xena and the Hercules TV show here, but I don't know whether that's true or not. Anyway, inside Sun City, which I really struggled to find photos of from the 90s, and there I've got an arrow. Yeah, you've been good so far, YouTube. Just stick with me here. YouTube is telling me to shut up about Sun City. Where is the interior of Sun City? Did I save that? I might not have saved that because I was struggling to find a good picture of it. Anyway, so Security Breach, even if the movie is absolutely terrible, I will probably connect with it in a very, very specific way just because of that nostalgia. I want to turn this off because I want to see where is... Here it is. So if I go back here and I turn the opacity down, I can do this. And just follow where the whites of her eyes are supposed to stop. Here we go. And this side as well. There we go. And turn that back up and turn that off. But yeah, the FNAF movies, they're not good. They are not good movies. But there's at least something there. Like when I was watching them, I was like, this was made by people who actually read the source material and they wanted to represent things from the source material that literally nobody else but hardcore fans would care about or even notice. And that to me is at least semi-commendable, even though as movies, they're not great. You're taking a drink every time I complain about my connection. You know what? We might as well. The connection drives me to drink, that's for sure. Your location looks way better than Disney Quest. Someone uploaded a video of the background music from Disney Quest on YouTube. I love them for it. Gives me good memories. I should look that up. I have a friend who works at Universal Studios in terms of like the it's not a theme park, but like the studio tour is where they work. So theme parks and things like that, it's kind of a semi-niche interest. Like I'm not as obsessed with them as my friend is, but it's, you know, because it's got that nostalgic link for me, it is something that I think about a lot. I just like that the FNAF movies used real animatronics from the Jim Henson Creature Shop. More practical effects, please. Yeah, like that's what I mean. The movies are not good from a writing perspective. They really are not. But there is like effort put into them to a degree that's not even like ironically funny. Like it's actual effort that I actually appreciate seeing. So I think time might be much kinder to those movies than people are now, where, you know, like Friday the 13th was not considered the height of cinema when it came out. But now people talk about it as like this important milestone of horror. And I don't think the FNAF movies will ever be a milestone of horror, but I do think that way in the future, people will look at them as like important in capturing a certain zeitgeist of horror, which I find interesting at least. I seem to be one of the only people who think FNAF 1 is worse than FNAF 2. Like the one where the puppets do stuff is considered worse than the one with the guy who sleeps a lot. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm never going to watch the FNAF movies. I refuse to interact with that franchise anymore. You need to be some kind of CIA codebreaker to even follow it anymore. I mean, Dana in chat has got you covered. If you have any questions, I'm sure Dana can answer you. Is it sad to anyone else that the closest Warner Brothers got to the Universal Style Tour is the Potter at Pinewood? Ugh. Let's not even talk about it. But yeah, I've got a friend who works at Universal, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I have yet to go on the tour myself, though. I've been to Disney World in California. Well, it's not California. Well, it is California. It's not Los Angeles. It's like the district next door. This confused me a lot when I was in Canada as well. Here, two cities are broken up by like felt and wildlife, Whereas in America, it's like, oh, this is this city. Oh, now you're in the next city, but there has been no break in buildings. And I'm like, what do you mean? We haven't left the urban landscape. What do you mean this is the next city? And that would drive me crazy. Vancouver was like that a lot as well. And it just drove me up the wall. I'm like, why are you like this? But I know it has to do with like jurisdiction or something. Like a topic well over my head. It's one of those things where you just have to kind of accept it and move on. I've still never seen either FNAF movie nor even played the games. I'm getting more into horror movies, but horror games are just not for me. I have a weird relationship with horror games where I am often too scared to play them myself, but I absolutely adore watching other people play them. However, because I am then not the one playing it myself, it has to be a horror game that gives something more than just jump scares. Like, that could be funny, you know, watching Markiplier lose his mind at Security Breach is hilarious, but I prefer watching Vinny play, like, the Silent Hill games, which I've been a fan of Silent Hill 2 for, like, over 2 decades at this point. But, like, I really like horror games, but I don't play them very often. Like, even playing Ravenholm in, I think it's Ravenholm, in Half-Life 2, back in the day was difficult for me because it creeped me out so much. If you want to play horror games, don't play FNAF. FNAF is more a anxiety management game. It's like a stress game where it's like time constraints and managing a lot of resources and having absolutely no room for error. So it's more like an endurance test, and the jump scare is just the fail condition to punish you for losing. And the horror side of it really just comes from the lore. That's like where all the horror lies. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. Current video game movies are so popular because regardless of writing quality, they only need to show appreciation for source material. We were starved for good video game movies for far too long that we crave them. I'm sure audiences will eventually grow past the need. Now, I fully agree. And I think FNAF, like I said, I do think that in the future, it will be looked as an important zeitgeist of the time. But I do think there is going to reach a point where people get tired of, like, I don't know, I want to say internet properties, but that's not true. You know what it is? I think what will happen is what happened to Slender Man, where even though we didn't get that many direct Slender Man movies, Slender Man was so all over the place and was featured as, like, you know, legally distinct Slender Man and a lot of things, and people got bored of it eventually because it was so oversaturated. So that a Slender Man focused movie, I know there is one, but it never really got off the ground as like a massive franchise or anything because people just got so tired of it. And I think that will probably happen with video game movies unless we have enough ones that are of quality that people think favorably about them in a more general sense than remembering the bad apples and having that be like indicative of the entire scope of video game movies. You know what I mean? Video games are such a unique art medium and it does injustice. Yeah, it does. Like, the fact that there are talks and a supposed script for a Mass Effect TV series circling, that's like my worst nightmare. I'm so upset that that's apparently a thing going around and I blame the Fallout TV show. But I think there are certain video games that you can adapt, but it would have to be a video game that already has a heavy focus on narrative, or, on the other hand, a focus that has absolutely nothing to do with narrative so that you can build a narrative onto it and it's only recognizable as a video game movie based on aesthetic. I think that's the only real two ways to go about it. And as I was saying that sentence, I was thinking of like narratively driven video games that have been adapted into movies, and almost all of them have been terrible. But then I think of the Professor Layton movie, and I need to rewatch that actually. But for a long time, that was unironically the best video game adaptation into a movie I'd ever seen because it just worked so well. And it's shocking to me, how did you make a puzzle game into a movie and have it work? But the big reason that the Layton movie worked is because It was animated and written by the same studio that animates the cutscenes in the video game. It's the same people making it. That's why it worked so well. As soon as I heard Amazon was doing a Mass Effect series, I immediately thought of myself, CPUF is going to have a fucking coronary. I pretty much did. The only thing I can hope for is that it's absolute garbage, the same way the Halo TV show was, and that everybody forgets about it after enough time goes by. The worst case scenario is where it's like the Fallout TV show, where there's a bunch of people who never played the Fallout games who think it's good, and then that just becomes what Fallout is. Kind of what happened with the Elder Scrolls when Skyrim came out. I will never let that go. I'm a Morrowind fan. And now when people think the Elder Scrolls, they think Skyrim. And that's so bad. It drives me crazy. The Mario movies make their own narrative, but I liked the first movie, hated the second one so much. Yeah, apparently, like I said, the second one is, I've only heard that it's okay, or that it's the worst thing ever. I have never heard anything, I haven't heard a single person say it was good. I've only heard people say, yeah, it's alright, or like people just say, no, it's literally the worst thing I've ever seen. And the only praise I have seen for it are reviews left on Letterboxd on April Fool's Day. A bunch of people thought it would be very funny to leave it a 5 out of 5 review because April Fool's. I know I talked about this yesterday, but we had so many tech issues, I might as well go over it again now. And yeah, I've just not heard a single person say, oh, no, come on, guys, it's really good. Like, everybody is just like, bleh. Your hobby becoming mainstream is the worst thing that can happen to it. Absolutely. I genuinely agree. It's awful. It sucks so much. There are certain things that make it good when that happens, but for the most part, it's just been extremely detrimental. I mean, look at Star Trek. Good Lord. Do you know, I recently found out that the recent shows of Star Trek, they very often don't work from a script. They just let the actors like ad-lib dialogue scenes. Not so much the story, but like lines of dialogue, they just let the actors ad-lib. And that's why a lot of it is so terrible, and why they all talk like idiots from California and that like on the way to get their Starbucks, rather than TNG, which had like really high quality writing to its scripts, and it was very tight. And that's why TNG is such a good show, and the new Star Trek shows are just awful. And that bleeds back into a lot of studios just genuinely not wanting to pay writers. And then that like spirals into a larger discussion, and I turn into Mike Stolklasa, where I'm just like, fuck the movies. Crazy that the best Star Trek show isn't even Star Trek, it's The Orville. I keep hearing that said, but I talked about this in the previous stream. The Orville is hampered by the fact that Seth MacFarlane had to sell it to the execs as a comedy, which I don't think that's what he wanted it to be. It's just the execs would not give him the show unless he committed to it being a comedy, because he's Seth MacFarlane, he's the Family Guy. So obviously anything he makes has to be a dumb comedy, and that's why The Orville has a lot of that Family Guy style humor to it, is because he was forced to. When in reality, he just wanted to make a Star Trek fan fiction, and that's all he wanted to do. That Did You Know had so much rant energy behind it. I am only a few words away from a rant at all times. It's always boiling in the background. Mostly because it's fun to rant about things, but also it's a backdoor way to talk about things I'm actually interested in. That's really why that happens. Like, yelling about Skyrim is always a good way to talk about Morrowind, right? Okay, I think that's the only yellow... Oh no, she actually has a silver star and it's got like a yellow ball. Okay, we can work with that. I'm not going to do lines for it. I'll just apply the ball here, like this. Oops. There we go. Good enough. Okay, that is solid, so we can just do that. Ta-da! Admittedly, it gets much less comedic in later seasons. Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably because it was able to establish itself. And Seth MacFarlane was able to go, see, it's a show that people like. And so they kind of eased up on him like forcing him to do comedy, whereas at the beginning he really could not get that off the ground unless he did comedy. I feel there's some kind of cosmic poetry to the fact that Seth MacFarlane made Family Guy, and Family Guy is the show that by this point everybody is tired of, and yet Seth MacFarlane can never stop making Family Guy. He's like, it doesn't matter what other project he works on, he is forever going to be the guy who made Family Guy. And I think that might be why he went into like lounge singing because it's obviously something he has a genuine passion for, and it's something that's not connected to writing comedy. I'm back. Hey, that little satellite. I want to rant about KOTOR 1 so bad. I need to make YouTube videos again. Do it. I started KOTOR 1, but it was running very buggy. So I need to reinstall it and get it working a little bit better, because I think the copy I have should be more stable. I don't know what the problem was with the original one. It was a legit copy. There was just some graphical weirdness going on there. And I also have KOTOR 2, but I haven't touched that one yet. I do hear KOTOR 2 is a lot better than the first one. Stream more stable today. We're not mentioning it. If we don't talk about it, it can't get us. But I did make a few changes that seem to have helped. I did want to use my mobile data. I bought extra data and everything, but then Streamlabs decided it was going to like stress me out by using a different Wi-Fi IP for some reason. And so it wouldn't load for like the longest time, and I was like half an hour late. Do I have a Discord server? No, I don't. That's a little satellite. Are you the person who pledged the art tier on Patreon? Because I sent you a message where you can request me to draw something for you, but it's going to be offline. Like, I will draw something for you, like an art request. I think when you came in last time, there was a bit of confusion where I thought you meant that I would draw something for you offline, and you thought that I should draw something for you on stream, and there was just a little bit of confusion there. No, you didn't? Okay. Do you have a Discord server? No, I don't. Mainly because I'm terrible with Discord servers, and also because I've heard such horror stories about Discord servers, because I would not run it myself because I'm not good at that sort of thing. So I would have to get somebody else to run it. And that's where problems start, because so many people who become Discord mods end up being like unsavory. And I don't want that on my head. You know what I mean? I don't want to be associated with all of that. And I just know, because it's something that I won't be able to commit to 100% on my own side, that it's better to just kind of leave that alone. You know what I mean? Because it'll cause a lot more problems. I wanted to try streaming once, but I absolutely could not figure out how OBS worked. I got OBS while I was panicking because Streamlabs wouldn't load. And it is clunkier, but it does work. But Streamlabs is a little bit more user-friendly. And also Streamlabs, I think, I know you can do it in OBS, but it's a lot easier to do like the little alerts when people send super chats and things like that, which I wanted. I really wanted the alerts. I wanted the like the little pop-ups on the screen. I wanted the sound effects and stuff. So I just went with Streamlabs because it's easier to set that up. That's literally the only reason I use Streamlabs. Oh yeah, Discord lives up to its literal name. Those people make the YouTube comment section look like Boy Scouts meeting. The YouTube comment section is not that bad. And I say that because I lived through the beginning of YouTube, and the comments were so bad on YouTube when it first started because there was zero moderation. It was basically 4chan, and like the worst side of 4chan. That's what the YouTube comment section was. And until they started implementing some form of moderation, it was just hell. It was hell out there. There used to be a song. I wish I could play it on stream, but it'll get copyright struck. There was a comedy version of We Didn't Start the Fire called We Didn't Start the Flame War, and it was literally just about how bad the YouTube comment section was. And then they integrated like like Google Hangouts or something. I can't even remember what that was. And then it became like so much worse. Like every single YouTube comment was like horrible ASCII art of something. And it was just a nightmare. It was so bad. Streaming is exhausting when no one is watching. Yeah. Streaming is exhausting even if somebody is if you have viewers. I have really great viewers. But like setting it up and making sure the music is working, making sure the assets are working, making sure nothing has to update, making sure the mic is charged, all of that. It's a lot. It's like a full day's work. I was about to offer to be a Discord mod, but I had to stop and realize Discord mods have a certain reputation. Yeah. But yes, I know it would be like a cool idea, but I just foresee it being more problems than it's worth. And the other reason is I'm not very good in Discord servers. Like I've joined so many and I end up just not saying anything ever or even really going to them because it's difficult when you have people having conversations. And like what? You're supposed to jump in? You're supposed to interrupt and be rude? Like, you know what I mean? And that just doesn't work for me. I'm very great with one-on-one conversations. And I have a small group chat of me and like 2 of my friends. But other than that, I stay out of service. It's not for me. When I started YouTube as a teen, I got so much harassment just because I was a teen woman online and they hated my voice that was still pre-puberty. I remember I made a cringe video where I sang a song about how bad the YouTube comments were. Yeah, it was really bad, guys. Like, legitimately. I mean, I can post... Well, no, if I look up the We Didn't Start the Flame War video, it might start playing and then it might chug my connection. So I'm not going to do that now. I'll share the We Didn't Start the Flame War video if it's still up, like in a community post or something. Because I still think of that video to this day. It's like one of those early internet videos that just never leaves your brain. Along with like misheard lyrics of Oh Fortuna. That was another one that was shared around all the time. I always wanted to try streaming games, but I just couldn't do it. It's such a headache. Plus, I'd want to play party games and don't have any friends. Aww. I do want to get back to the Mass Effect streams, but my connection is just so bad lately that I'm too scared to do it because then not only am I streaming my screen, but then my PC is also running a video game at the same time. I do want to get back to it. I just kind of have to figure out the technicalities behind the scenes. Like gore threats were very common, I vaguely remember. Was that like a YouTube comment section thing? Because I don't remember seeing that. I just remember a lot of like really 4chan style humor in the comments. It was mainly that ASCII art and people arguing and just being obnoxious. I don't know, your connection has been great today. Shh, don't let it know. Don't let it know we're watching. Let it sleep. Earlier internet was just incredibly racist in general. Yeah, I think what it was is the early adopters of the internet were mainly like teenage boys. In a lot of those spaces. I was mostly on DeviantArt at the time, which didn't really have that problem, but DeviantArt, as you know, it has its own reputation. So DeviantArt wasn't really known for like basically being the website version of Xbox Live Chat or whatever it was called, but it had its own set of weirdos. But that's kind of where I hung out. Don't jinx it. Yeah, exactly. Play the game on your internet, stream the game from your mobile data. I would have to buy, well no, I probably wouldn't have to buy that much data because I'm not streaming the game. I'm just recording video. That might be an option. I did think that what I should do is I should go to my mobile supplier, whatever, and ask them for a dongle that specifically connects to 5G. You know, like I have the one dongle that connects to Wi-Fi and I can get another one that connects to 5G and I can kind of set up an account there. That's probably what I'm going to try and do for the future just to avoid network problems. But that's the incredibly boring topic for a stream discussion. DeviantArt certainly lives up to its name, yeah. But at the same time, you'll see like people having arguments on Twitter about fandom stuff. And like, I remember having the exact same arguments, not me personally, but I remember seeing the exact same arguments on DeviantArt in like 2003. And that's why I get bored by a lot of it. It's like, guys, we've already been over this. We've been over this for like the past 20 years. Like, some of us have just moved on. Some of us have matured past this. This is so old. It's so boring. It's just the same talking points over and over. Please, can we all just grow up? And I know why. It's because those people are the same age that I was when I was on DeviantArt. Early adopters being teenage boys is accurate. No moderation over a group of hormonal idiots that push things to see what they could get away with because edge and stupid was funny. Yeah, it's not even... Well, okay, there are some bad apples there, but I think that's genuinely what it is. It's teenagers just kind of pushing the limits to see what is acceptable and what isn't. And like most children, if they say things they know they're not supposed to, that in of itself is funny, because they're breaking a rule, which that's the entire like ethos of being a teenager. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from as well. Not that I did that myself, but you know what I mean. I was too busy drawing Invader Zim. That's what I was doing with my time. And like Kids Next Door. And what else was I into? I really liked the Angry Beavers, but I think that was way before I was like really active on the internet. Sailor Moon, I guess? I wasn't that active in Sailor Moon Spaces. I think it was Invader Zim. That was like the big one. Kids Next Door was the one before that. And then kind of Invader Zim. So I was mainly just like... Oh, and Powerpuff Girls. I was drawing fan art of that and reading fanfics on like fanfiction.net and dedicated websites. I wasn't like making Xbox Live comments on 4chan or whatever. If you need someone to edit the Mass Effect streams, I could do it for practice, assuming they ever happen again. I always say they will, and I do intend to get them working again. But again, connection issues, and I have to work that out first. But I will absolutely return to them when I can. Here, what else? We need... What is her stuffs? Is it just silver? Yeah. Also, I noticed she has nail polish, so I need to add that as well. We're going a little bit long for the free stream, but as I said, I had such tech issues yesterday that I'm okay with giving a slightly longer stream today. It's fine. As a former high school teacher, I can confirm modern kids' teenagers are still just as bad. Yeah, it's just the whole, like, what can we get away with? Because again, you're dealing with people who have never said or done things like this ever before. So there's a bit of, like, adrenaline rush going on there as well. And... you know, the feeling of, I can't believe I can say these things because when I was a child, I would get punished so hard, etc. So it's like testing boundaries and understanding where the lines lie and things like that. And sometimes they do go too far, and then that's where you need to step in and all that. It's complicated. It's a complicated stage of life, and it's a really terrible stage of life to live through as well. Part of me wants to bring Seapuff to America for the better internet. I mean, I've been to LA a few times. Okay, so her lips are not really pink. They're more this, ironically, this peach color. Also, I must remember her nails. I don't want to forget. We're going to make a new layer and turn that onto paintbrush rather. We can do this, and then we can like fade it out. Here we go. Erase it there. And then we can blend, blend it just a little bit here. Just to soften it a little. And then, what song is this? This sounds like it should be from a different game. This doesn't sound like it should be from The Elder Scrolls. I have no idea where this is from. I hung out on celebrity gossip sites once. I definitely said shit I wouldn't now. I think one time in my life, when I was maybe 13 or 12, I left an angry comment on a fanfic because it was a yaoi fanfic. And I wasn't upset that it was yaoi. What I was upset about was the characters were acting out of character. And that really upset me. So I left an angry, annoyed fanfiction comment, and to this day I feel bad about it. It's the one and only time I left like a flame on somebody's fanfic at the age of like 12 or 13. It wasn't like, what was it called? Time Squad. It was a fanfic of Time Squad back in the day. And again, it's like one of those where you look back on it and you're like, God, why did I do that? No, I think I might actually want these to be white rather than... No, let's make them like... Yes, there we go. There we go, just slightly. Oh, and we need to fix these eyes so she's not staring into our souls anymore. OMG, I remember Albino Black Sheep. Who mentioned Albino Black Sheep? That's... Oh, here we go. I hang out with everyday edgy animation circles in the 2000s on Albino Black Sheep and Newgrounds. I used to just watch stuff on Albino Black Sheep. I didn't really join the community there, but I watched a lot of like that really edgy stuff. What was the one that I liked a lot? It wasn't Joe Cartoon, although I did watch some of that as well. I can't remember. We're talking like 20 years ago. But there was one like really edgy animator, and I really liked his really stupid animations. He had like a parody of Blue's Clues, and it was really stupid and bad. But at the age of like 12, it was like the funniest thing I'd ever seen, like that kind of thing. I just want to say I love the new avatar. Oh, I didn't make this. My friend made this for me, but thank you. I'm glad you like her. I'm very happy with her. She's got toggles as well, though I'm a little scared to hit the numpad. I think it might have just been my connection yesterday, but now I'm really scared. I can, if I press 5, will it disconnect? Yes, no, did it? Hold on, it doesn't look like it disconnected. Okay, yes, it didn't, so that's that, I think. You know what, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm too scared of it disconnecting, so I'm just not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna leave it alone. But she's got toggles and things as well. There's like a Garrus Dakimakura toggle in there. And there is a plush of the Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3 in there. Once I'm done, I might play around with it to show you guys, but I'm really scared if I hit the numpad, it's going to kill my connection when it's been fine so far. Okay, and then I just want to add a little bit of color to her skin tone and her hair, and then we will be done. I can still hear? Okay, good. You're here? Okay, good. I'm so paranoid now. It's what it's turned me into. Here we go. No, I think that might be too harsh. This might also be too harsh. Okay, here, and I've got this great brush which automatically just gives like this I forget what it's called, like the Terminator. I think it's called the Terminator, not the movie. I mean this like line of red between the lightest part and the darkest part. I think that's the Terminator, and I've got a brush that just does that automatically, which I really like. Let's blend this a little bit. And then just do that, do that, do that, and then we can blend that as well. I remember back in the day when the only art program that could do blending was Paint Tool Sai and like Coral Painter, which nobody had because it was so expensive. CPuff Sister Didi, what does this button do? Pretty much. Like I said, I think it was actually my connection, but I'm too scared to play around with it. Did I watch the Mario movie yet? No, I'm actually going to the movies tomorrow, but I'm going to go see Project Hail Mary. I wanted to go watch it last week, but there was just a bunch of stuff happening and I was too busy, unfortunately. But I'm going to watch it tomorrow, finally, and I'm so glad because everybody across the entirety of the internet is talking about it. And I've been trying to avoid spoilers like you cannot believe, and it's been very difficult. CPuff Sister, deflated entity. Well, we had this running joke like my evil twin would be D-Puff. And I've been thinking of like a joke that I can work into one of my videos where I have an evil twin and I can like draw evil twin depuff, but I haven't had an opportunity to do so yet. It looks like you're giving her a sunburn on the neck. Little bit. Like, you can kind of see here, but skin is semi-translucent. At least light skin is. Light skin is semi-translucent anyway. So it's going to have a little bit of that sunburnt look in certain aspects, depending on what you're shading, obviously. Do that. Oh, and I want to do that here. Like that. And here. Like that. And then we can just blend it. I have a specific like blender I downloaded, which specifically looks like this. And I like using it for hair because it gives the illusion of just breaking it up into strands. I think it's like a finger paint blender, if I remember correctly. I got it years ago. I can't really remember what its actual function is supposed to be. Can we see organs? Oh, I can see my organs. I see what you're saying. Sometimes I glance over in chat and I just read things. Deflate is amazing. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I gotta agree. Because I was thinking depuff in terms of like dark puff. Like that's what the D stands for. Which is funny because the C doesn't actually stand for anything. Give depuff 2 eye patches in place of glasses. Just to make sure everybody understands that she's evil. Sorry, did I put this? No, I did not put this on. Oh, no, I did put this on loop. Okay. Just checking. I was so frazzled when I started the stream. I don't even remember if I set up the music properly, but it looks like I did. So we're good. Fair warning, there's a skeleton inside you right now. That was like a meme on Tumblr for a very long time. Was the whole your skeleton is hatching thing. That was a thing for a really long time. And there's like a weirdo, like, novel, I guess is what you call it, on Amazon about that. And it looks like it's just a shitpost of a book, but then I had people like read it out loud, like do an audiobook of it just as a joke. And then it turns out it's actually kind of interesting. It's very bizarre. Think about this, your skeleton is currently wet. Yeah, I think about that sometimes. It's like the fact that your skeleton is just permanently wet. That's just a reality. Okay, so grabbing this again. Oh, I also need to just put some color on her cheeks as well, because that'll also give a little bit of life to her skin. Otherwise, she's going to look very dead-eyed and not cool. There we go. Do that. A lot of YouTubers have an evil side, and I don't know why. Is it just following Darkiplier, or was this a trend beforehand? I think it was a trend beforehand. Oh, you know who started it? I bet it was Spoonie. I'm pretty sure Spoonie had like an alter ego that was evil. He had Dr. Insano, but that wasn't an alter ego. That was just like a generic mad scientist character he had. But I'm pretty sure he had an evil, like, mean character as well. I know Linkara did, but I don't know whether Linkara started it, because even back in the day, as somebody who watched both people, there was very often Linkara would just copy Spoonie's jokes. Like, he would just straight up do the same joke in his video. And I remember even back in the day when I was, like, into his videos, I'd be like, isn't that something Spoonie did in his video? Don't forget to paint Rosalisa's nails. Oh, yes, I need to do that. I also just want to add this. Do this. Oh, and there's another thing we can add. Again, I always get carried away for these streams. But what we can do is we can go like full cobalt, like this color. Grab the paintbrush and then do that. Which is nice. I don't often add that, but I do like the way it looks. I know that Mario actually in the official like Game Rangers has like the blue in the center of his pupil. Let's grab that. It's almost the same color nail polish as my avatar, I notice. Let's go here, go to Oh no, that's airbrush, paintbrush. There we go. It's too big. There we go. Oops, that's too much. Just like that. And you can't really see her fingers. So I think that's good. Oh, no, last thing, we need to add a shine to the silver on her crown. Otherwise, that's going to look odd. Let's do that. Grab this. Bring it down. Do that. And then we can grab this and make it like much lighter. Do that. And all the way to white. And then you put that here. There we go. And that should be good. There we go. Okay, we made it, guys. Oh, and let me hit save before I say anything. Okay, we made it. The connection survived the entire stream. It's good to know. Any favorite Bond movies? I haven't seen all of them, so I can't really give an educated opinion. I do remember quite liking, not Die Another Day, the one before that. But that was like peak 2000s Pierce Brosnan James Bond, which is not really considered the best Bond, but it was the ones that I watched when they came out. So those were the ones I liked. Let me see. So, oh, I know what it is. If I go into the program and I hit, there we go. Okay, so that brings that back. I think it's, there we go. And then, there we go. So those are the toggles I have. There's also a toggle to remove the glasses. And what is 2? Oh, okay, there's the plush. So yeah, those are the toggles. And I really like this avatar. I really like this avatar a lot. Moonraker. Okay, I do like Moonraker. It's bananas, but I actually really like Moonraker. It's so stupid. But you know why I like Moonraker? I think I like Moonraker because it's the closest James Bond got to sci-fi, like, at all. I think that is as much sci-fi as James Bond gets, is Moonraker. And like with most movies that were made a few years ago, I like putting things into like historical context. So just like the zeitgeist of NASA at the time that Moonraker was made, like that's why Moonraker happened. And it's also, you got like Star Wars coming in. I don't know, it might be pre-Star Wars, but it was definitely more influenced by like NASA and not Soviet, what's the cosmonauts and things like that. Like, that is where Moonraker lives. And that's,
you have received a new message.
Thank you, Abina. Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you. Excellent work, everyone. Another 20 minutes without issues. A super chat and a completed drawing. Triple drinks all around. I promise not to do this, but the next stream. Also, awesome avatar, C-pop. Thank you. No, honestly, I think the drinking helped. I didn't drink myself, but I think the spiritual concept of taking a drink helped, right? Like the emotional, it's a state of mind, right? If you put yourself in the state of mind of taking a drink every time, then it kind of gives the same spiritual feedback than if you had actually taken a drink every time, minus the headache. So I wish the squid was a Leviathan. No, the squid is the Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3, because I really like the Emperor. He's like, I want to say he's my favorite character in the game. It's difficult to say that because there are so many characters in Baldur's Gate 3, but I legitimately think he's my favorite character. And that wasn't like planned. It's not like I saw the Emperor before I played and was like, yes, that's the one. I knew that there was a Mind Flayer character and I'm like, oh, that's neat. And then I got to him and I was like, oh no, I can feel myself imprinting on this stupid character. And it was funny because I was like live blogging it on Tumblr and those posts are still up. So you can like read in real time me screaming against the fact that I was very, very like predictably falling for the non-human character with like a bizarre way of handling, like being very like intellectual, but in a non-neurotypical way, I guess. Because that's always the kind of character I fall for. So I was so angry that once again I was falling into that trap. And it's really funny reading those posts back because it's just me like losing my mind because I was doing it and I wasn't able to stop myself. It's very funny. Has Seepuff seen the anime Mao, latest manga adaptation of Rumiko Takahashi manga? I have not, but I need to look into that. Rumiko Takahashi, I have not even a love-hate relationship with. I really, really, really like Urusei Yatsura. I really like that. And I really like Mermaid Forest. But I hate Ranma 1/2. Like, it's not even that I think it's bad or anything. I just hate it. I don't like the harem anime setup. And it might be because back in the day when you couldn't get easy access to anime, one of the only anime, that I had access to was Love Hina. So even though I hated it with a fiery passion, I watched every episode of Love Hina, including the OVAs. And I hated every second of it. So I kind of just grew with this like not really being happy with harem anime, and I think it's Love Hina's fault. You like Ranma 1/2? It's not that it's bad, I just don't like it. Maison Ikoku is nice slice of life. I do want to watch Maison Ikoku. I really, really dig the way it looks, like the art style of it. I really enjoy that. So I do want to check that out. And I think it's very funny that they used, I think it was like a Paul McCartney song for exactly one ending. And the audience hated it so much and they called in so many complaints that they changed it back to the old ending literally the next episode, which is very funny. Curse you, Velma. Seepuff fell for the autistic-coded non-human character again. Exactly. So you get it. It's funny because I'm not even on the autism spectrum. I'm really not. I was tested and everything. So it's very wild that that's always the character I fall for, like clockwork. You could set your watch to it. It's amazing. We should have known that I had no hope when I watched The Lion King when it came out and my favorite character ended up being Timon. I think the signs were already there, guys. There's one anime I kind of don't like, it be Flower Witch Mary Bell. Waste of a promising magical girl promise. I don't even know if I looked into that one, quite frankly. There was one anime that, again, didn't have much wrong with it. I just didn't like it, which was Flying Witch. That one just did not hit for me. The ADHD is close enough. Yeah, there's big differences, but there's a lot of overlap as well. So yeah, close enough. But yeah, a Flying Witch, I watched a good chunk of it before I decided I don't think this one's really for me, but it's not because it's bad, it's just not doing it for me. And sometimes that happens and it's fine, it's not even the show's fault. It's, you know, not everything that you dislike is bad. Sometimes you just dislike something. You can find it on 9 Anime. Oh, the secret unspoken places. There's one, oh, it was Mary Witch Bell. I personally have autism. I was diagnosed at the late age of 22. I mean, it's late, but it's not too late. But yeah, I don't want to go into like the whole diagnosis chat because I don't want people to like feel the need to disclose themselves when they really don't have to. But yeah, thanks for the info. I need to watch more movies. Yeah, my thing with anime is I once or twice had people come into the chat asking about what anime to start with. And how I go about that is usually to ask them, what kind of shows do you already like? Because I get annoyed when people will ask people what anime should they start with, and they will like automatically choose the most popular shonen that's currently airing. And I'm like, that's not going to be what everybody likes. And it's actually, it's kind of a, I want to say immature entry level to anime, which sounds like an insult, but I don't mean it that way. But like the target demographic for those kinds of shows tend to be like teenagers. So if somebody is asking you, what anime show can I start with? I wouldn't tell them like watch My Hero Academia or Sword Art Online was the big one that people would always suggest back in the day. And I just don't think that's a good way to try and get somebody into it. Because it also kind of sets the expectation that all anime has the exact same tone, the exact same aesthetic, the exact same writing style, where people think anime is a genre. And that's also kind of annoying to me, especially as somebody whose first anime was things like Megazone 2-3 Part 3 and Blood the Last Vampire and the Patlabor movie. Like, that's the kind of stuff that introduced me to anime. So it's annoying when people are like, oh, anime, I think you mean shonen. And I'm like, ugh. So I tend to ask people, okay, well, what do you already like? And then we can kind of find a building block from there. The correct answer is always Trigun. Yes, Trigun is a good go-to. The other one is Cowboy Bebop. I know that's the one that people always jump to. It can be, but it also depends whether people are okay with like that style of story as well. Because Cowboy Bebop, it's very good, but it's also got a very specific way of telling a story, which might not be up everyone's alley. The other one is Death Note, but again, Death Note is an easy suggestion, but I mean, if people hate police procedurals, they're not gonna like Death Note. So again, it does better to like ask somebody what do they like already and then kind of find something that matches it. Trigun is good, though I have a bias for Cowboy Bebop myself. I mean, they're kind of the same, they're kind of like different sides of the same coin. I remember before I watched either of them back in the 90s, there was an AMV that like through video editing made it look like there was a crossover episode, and I genuinely thought for a year or so that there was an official crossover episode between Cowboy Bebop and Trigun. There isn't, but I thought that for a very long time until I could actually watch them, because that is how closely linked those two shows are, even though like thematically and like what they're about have nothing really to do with each other. They just kind of complement each other very well. The third one in that trifecta is Outlaw Star, but I think fewer people are aware of Outlaw Star, especially these days. But that was kind of the big three, was Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Outlaw Star. Okay, it's 10 minutes to midnight, so I'm gonna hang around for another 10 minutes. My first anime was Sailor Moon, then Dragon Ball. Yeah, I'm pretty normie that way. Dragon Ball was like my first anime that was a TV show, not counting like Pokemon. No, that's not true. Back in the day, we had Heidi, but it was like the Afrikaans dubbed version. We had Samurai Pizza Cats, but that was, again, the American dub. We had Moomin, but even though it was made in Japan, I don't know how much I count Moomin as an anime, considering it was a joint production with Finland. If you're going to call Moomin an anime, you also have to call Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer an anime, because that was also animated in Japan. Same with like, what is it, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, like the Rankin Bass stop motion specials. They were all animated in Japan. And if you're going to start splitting hairs that Moomin is an anime because it was animated in Japan, you also have to say things like, well, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer also counts as an anime then. Which is like, come on, we have to have boundaries somewhere. We have to draw the line at some point. Otherwise, it just becomes a giant mess. My weather alert said heavy T-storms in your area, and I forgot T was standing for thunderstorms. Oh. They're currently watching DBZ Kai. I couldn't deal with the glacial pace of DBZ. I watched DBZ up until the defeat of Frieza. And then as a kid, I was very confused why the show was still going, because we beat the main bad guy. Why is it still going? And then DBZ Abridged kind of reintroduced me to Dragon Ball Z. And then I read the manga. And the manga is genuinely fantastic. Like, if you struggle with the pace of the show, just read the manga, because the art is really good. The writing is actually really good. It's really well done. There's a lot of character work, and it does that thing that I really like, where it has the non-powered humans trying to like problem solve the situation. And it's really good. There's a lot of time just spent with characters trying to problem solve what's going on. And I don't know whether that's as big a focus in the show, but in the manga, that gets so much screen time. It's just everybody standing around saying, okay, here's the problem. Here's what we have to work with. What can we use in our advantage to give us an edge so that we can survive? And then that would inevitably go wrong, and then they would have to improvise on the fly to adapt to the changing situation. It's really good. It's really, really well written. I think I may have been that viewer that we were talking about anime to start with, because I'm really new to anime and always get overwhelmed with suggestions. Then y'all suggest Mononoke to start. I mean, Mononoke is pretty good. Mononoke is a good start because it is wide in scope. It has a slightly more mature theme to it, but it's not fully like dark. Like Death Note is very dark, is what I'm saying. If you're not into like police procedurals, you're not really gonna like Death Note because there's a lot of that going on. It deals with some. Death Note is also difficult because it's told from the perspective of the bad guy. Like, the bad guy is the main character, and for a lot of people that can be quite challenging, which is good, but maybe not the best show to start with, because it can make it a little bit difficult for people to kind of get into if that's what they think anime is like. As well as The Last Unicorn and The Hobbit. Yeah, The Last Unicorn and the 77 Hobbit movie were animated by the studio that would go on to become Ghibli, and they were directed by Rankin and Bass. I actually met Peter Beagle, I believe. Yes, I met Peter Beagle at Comic-Con once. He's really nice. He's like a genuinely nice person. He's really sweet, and he's like really attentive to talking to his fans. If you ever catch him at Comic-Con, I don't know if he's still doing them because he's getting up there in age, but really, really nice guy. Like, genuinely worth approaching and saying that you like his writing, because he will actually appreciate that. OMG, she mentioned Outlaw Star. My original message is mute. Of course I mentioned Outlaw Star, although I do have to finish it. I'm quite far into it, but like I always say, I get distracted and then I start watching other things, and then I come back to the original thing, and I just do that forever. There's a reason I stopped watching One Piece and didn't make it past like episode 300 on that one. My Animaniacs for best anime? Yeah. Animaniacs is animated by TMS, who are the people who do Lupin the Third. So enjoy that. Now you know that. It's very interesting as well, because if you watch the Lupin the Third movie, Goodbye to Nostradamus, a lot of the animation in that movie specifically, you can see the Animaniacs influence with how it draws certain characters. It's very, very interesting. Like, if you know, this is the studio who worked on Animaniacs and the Batman animated series, and you look at the way the characters move in that movie, you can kind of tell. And it's fascinating. I had a feeling yeah, I hadn't got to that part yet. I had a feeling they'd beaten the bad guy, though. Yeah, imagine the fact that they beat the bad guy in DBZ. Either that or like assimilate them into the found family group. Those are the only two outcomes. The idea of villain protagonists is slowly warming up in the West. For example, Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal did pretty good box office, and his character is outright, yeah, don't root for him. Really, a Nightcrawler? Because like Nightcrawler, he's kind of a sympathetic character, right? Hey Buff, check out Dynamonster and tell me what you think about it. I will if I remember. And I do want to. It's just I always make promises and then I end up not doing them because I forget. And I don't mean to. The animated series is so good. I'm actually going to reference it in the upcoming Velma episode because I talk about Scrappy. Because, I don't know if people don't know this because it was so heavily talked about, but Scrappy ends up being the main bad guy in Velma. And so I talk about Scrappy Doo. And by extension, I talk about the Cousin Oliver syndrome. And then because I talk about the Cousin Oliver syndrome, I talk about the episode Baby Doll in the Batman animated series, which is the best episode in the entire series. Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler is outright villainous. Really? That's interesting. That's wild, considering how his character was presented in the X-Men movies. Which Nightcrawler's characters in those movies is great. Oh, he's so good. I never even read the comics, and even I could recognize that that's just a fantastic character. Sympathetic, I definitely think we're not talking about the same Nightcrawler. Maybe not. Who am I thinking of? Again, I'm terrible with names, so I might be thinking of a different character. Who's the one in X-Men? That's Nightcrawler, isn't it? Now watch episode 8 of Digital Circus already, so I can yap to you about it. Yeah, I'll get to it. Definitely not? Okay. No, different character then. That's my bad. I'm bad with names, as you know. I need to make that bingo card of when I mention things in chat and streams, then you guys can just like mark them off. What are you talking about? Scrappy is the hero of Velma. No, I don't mean Magneto. I do mean Nightcrawler, unless his name is something else, which might be the case. Oh yeah, no, it's not this Nightcrawler. It's a different character. No, it is X-Men. It's just they both called Nightcrawler. It's not me misremembering. My boy. Copy this image. No, not link. Copy image. Copy image. Go back to YouTube. I thought you meant like Nightcrawler, you know? Because he did have didn't he have a movie come out recently about Nightcrawler? And Nightcrawler is a teleporting dude. Yeah, Nightcrawler. He had a movie come out recently that was also about Nightcrawler. That's why I got confused. It wasn't the X-Men movies. It's like a different movie. The movie Nightcrawler isn't with Jake Gyllenhaal, isn't X-Men. Dude, they gotta come up with new names. This is not helping me when you name everything the same and expect me to remember. It's hilarious that people actually rooted for Scrappy killing Velma. The show made people actually like Scrappy, the franchise punching bag. That is a feat for sure. Yeah, like I talk a lot about all of that in the video, where I talk about Scrappy being the punching bag. Should have named him Dustcrawler. The other thing I talk about as well is I wonder if, like, on a conspiracy level, they made Scrappy kill Velma because they knew people hated Velma, and so they wanted to basically clip farm. Like what, you know, like when people say, oh, their streamer is clip farming, it almost feels like that's what Velma was trying to do. Like, it made Scrappy kill Velma so that a bunch of YouTubers and TikTok people would make videos about the fact that Scrappy killed Velma, and like make it a bait to spread word of mouth, to like get people to watch the show. Like, that's how cynical I've become about this show. I'm like imagining all these conspiracy theories for why it's like this. Because much like a conspiracy theory, I need answers for why this insanity is the way it is. When at the end of the day, it's just bad writing. There's like no real mystery surrounding it. It's just bad writing. But it's so difficult to accept that. Oh, hell no. Night Stalker was a serial killer. Daycrawler. They should be... Yeah, Dustcrawler is actually not bad. That sounds like a movie from the 90s. Directed by Clive Barker. It kind of makes me think of that. Anyway, I am going to say goodnight. It is now exactly midnight. The stream survived. I'm very glad I didn't even use my mobile data. Streamlabs worked. We got some art out, and I will be streaming again this month, but it will be the end of the month. Let me check the days. No, not next weekend, because I do need some time off. Maybe Thursday the 30th. I know it's during the week, but maybe that'll also be okay, because less people will be online than on the weekend. And maybe, I don't know, you guys can listen to me at work or something, like while you're at your work or whatever. But yeah, I think we'll do the 30th on Thursday. Yay, stream lived. Bye guys. And I shall see you next time. I have like ending screens and stuff. Ending, put that on, transition. Oh, it's so good to actually end a stream like a normal person for once. And oh, I need to find the end music because I restarted my machine in my panic to try and get the Streamlabs to work again. So this was going to be the end music, so I'll like get that set up. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.